Great morning, social media superstars. This is your host, Taria Hodge of Social Media Saturdays, and I am super excited to bring you another wonderful and fantastic episode of Social Media Saturdays. And as you guys can tell, I'm here in the sunny Virgin Islands, and I am having a ball. And I just have to say, shout out to Side Corner Pub for being the sponsor for today's Social Media Saturday. So that's one of the things that I absolutely love being inside of being in the islands is that, most of the business owners, they're so accommodating. And today I was able to get a sponsor for Social Media Saturday. So we are down on the main street and we are at the Side Corner Pub, and it's just absolutely amazing. So I hope that you guys have the ability to join in with me today on Social Media Saturdays. I promise you we're going to have a wonderful and fantastic episode. So if you're out there and you could see me and you could hear me, just go ahead and type a comment into the feed and just let me know, Taria, I can see you, I can hear you before we get started, okay? And I think I see that Christina Fisher is out there. Good morning, Christina. Thank you so much for jumping on and joining us this morning. And I see that Charette, actually, let me put this up here so I could see my comments. And that way I don't have to keep looking down, okay? And I see that Charette is out there this morning. Good morning, Charette, my business bestie. Thank you so much for jumping on and joining me on this another fantastic episode of Social Media Saturdays. And today we are going to have a wonderful conversation because we're still talking about developing your 2019 social media plan. So for the whole month of January, that's what we're going to be covering, okay? Your 12-month social media plan. So I started off last week talking about how we're measuring key metrics, but the whole idea behind of this month's focus is because I heard a lot of people from the ending of 2018 talking about developing your business plan, but I really did not hear anyone talk about the things that you should put in place as far as your social media. So this is what we're doing for the whole month of January. We are focusing on developing your social media plan, okay? So Christina says, I can see you, I can hear you. And Christina is from Sicily and already in Italy. Oh my gosh, she's joining all the way from Italy. How amazing. Thank you so much, Christina, for jumping on and joining us. And she says, already in Italy, it's afternoon already. So wonderful. Maybe Christina, before the end of the day, or maybe tomorrow, you could come back into the feed and drop a beautiful picture of Italy. So I've never been to Italy before. It's on one of my places to visit. Okay, you know how you put together your bucket list. So definitely Italy is one of those places. So just go ahead and if you get a chance, just drop us a picture. I would love to see your beautiful surrounding. Okay, so if you are jumping on and you are just joining us this morning, my name is Taria Hodge and I am the host of Social Media Saturdays. And what Social Media Saturdays is a live broadcast platform dedicated to showing entrepreneurs, business owners, business leaders how to leverage the power of social media in their business. So if you're out there, maybe you're a coach, you're a consultant, and you want to know how to better use social media, this is the place for you to be. So we do the live broadcast every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay. And so once again, if you are new, please make sure that you connect with us. Okay. So if you are watching or you're joining from our Facebook business page, Social Media Saturdays, and you have not taken the time to like the page, make sure before the end of the broadcast, you do give our page a like. And once you like the page, you'll be able to get notified of all the times that we go live. Okay. So I definitely don't want you guys, to miss any of our live broadcasts. And then also, if you are not part of our Social Media Saturdays community, right? Make sure that you join the community. So Christina, I see your message. It says, I can't put a pic here in the post. So then I'm going to encourage you to make sure that you join our Facebook group. And the group is the same name, which is Social Media Saturdays. Okay. So if you're not a member of the group already, just knock on the door. I'll let you in. And then once you're a member of the group, then you could drop us a beautiful picture of Italy. I definitely would like to see a little bit of Italy. I can live vicariously through you. Yay. Okay. And so I see that a few people are jumping on, joining on. That's great. And while you're on here this morning, one of the things that I love to do on social media Saturdays, I love to give my superstars. So that's what I call you guys, right? So you guys are my superstars. I love to give my superstars the opportunity to share a little bit about what they do in their business. So I know that Christina is out there hailing from Italy, but Christina, if you can, in the comment section, please share exactly what you do, who you help in your business, and how you help in your business. And also, if you have a Facebook page or you have a website, please drop the link to your website into the feed, okay? And what that does, it gives other members or other people who are coming onto the broadcast, whether they're watching live or they're watching through the replay, the opportunity to know what you do in your business. So that's one of the cool things that I absolutely love about our superstars and I love about our community is some of the virtual networking that occurs, okay? So if you're out there and you have a business, tell us a little bit about, first tell us who you are, tell us where you are watching from, so don't forget to put that, okay? And then share who you help in your business, tell us a little bit about how you help in your business, and then put the link of how we can connect with you. So that would be either the link to your Facebook business page or the link to your website. And I see that Renee Sunday has jumped on and joined us. Good morning, Renee. How are you? Thank you for jumping on and joining us on this week's episode of Social Media Saturdays. Now, also the last thing before we get into our meat and potatoes of the show today, in true Social Media Saturdays form and fashion, you know I'm going to ask you guys to go ahead and share out the broadcast, okay? So take a minute before we get started to look below the video and hit the share button. Now, there are three ways that you can share. You can share the video directly onto your timeline by hitting share and share to your timeline. You could also invite 5 people that you know. Okay, so once you hit the share button and you're on here and you said, you know what, I know of 5 other business leaders, 5 other business owners that could benefit from this information this morning, and I just want to go ahead and invite them onto the broadcast. Go ahead and invite 5 business leaders that you know onto the broadcast. Okay, go ahead and bless them this morning with this amazing content. Today we're going to talk about organic content versus paid content. So that's a big question. You know, I get that question all the time. Should I have a paid strategy for my marketing? Okay, so we're going to address that a little bit today. And then the last way that you could share, if you are an influencer out there, and by the way, we all should be raising our hands because we're influencers, we're business leaders, right? So yes, you do have the ability to influence. But if you're out there and you do manage an online community, whether it's a Facebook group, a group on LinkedIn, just go ahead, okay, and share. If you think this information will benefit your community, go ahead and share the video with your community as well, okay? And I see that Gloria has jumped on. Good morning, Gloria. Thank you once again for jumping on and joining Social Media Saturdays this morning. Okay, all right, and like I said, we're going to have a wonderful episode. We're continuing the conversation on developing your social media plan, your 2019 social media plan. So the whole month of January is dedicated to doing just that, okay? So one of the things last week, I'll just do a brief recap of last week. Last week, we had some conversation, we laid the groundwork, we laid the foundation. We talked about the key metrics that you should be measuring in your business that will keep you on track with your social media. So if you have not had the opportunity to catch last week's video and you are a member of our Social Media Saturdays community, please make sure that you go into the group, okay? And, take a look, catch the replay, okay? All right, so today we're continuing the conversation, and I'm just feeling a little drizzle, so that's why I'm looking up like, wait a minute, I left the house this morning. It was so nice and sunny. I hope I don't get wet. I just hope it's a passing cloud. Okay, so so today we are going to talk a little bit about organic content, and we're going to talk about paid content, okay, and why you need to have a strategy for both in your business. So oftentimes I see this, and I get this all the time. People get really confused. They really don't know what type, of strategy to put in place for their business. So by now, we all know social media is not going anywhere. So you should have a strategy. But exactly what is it that you do on social media that would allow you to hit those business goals? Okay, so those are some of the questions, that I answer on our social media Saturday. So Peg says, last week was great. Catch it. Thank you so much for that, Peg. So today we're going to start off talking a little bit about what is organic social media and what is paid social media, and why are they both important, okay? Why you need to have a strategy for both. So organic social media or organic posting, or things that you share organically on your social media, is your content that you put out there that doesn't have any ad spend. So you're not putting any type of money behind of that content to push that content out on social media. So what you're doing is that you're giving your audience the opportunity to organically, engage with that content, and then also help you expand the reach of that content we talked about this last week, right? Expanding your reach by sharing it out. So the goal is always to put content out there that is relevant to your audience, okay? So you should know the things that your audience is looking for from you, and to put out more of the type of things that will help them move forward. Okay. Now, also, people ask me all the time, should I be paying? What should I be paying for? Should I spend money to boost on Facebook, right? That's one of the biggest questions I get all the time. So we're going to talk a little bit about that and why it's important to have a paid social strategy. Okay. And when do you implement a paid social strategy? Okay. So thank you so much, Christina, for going ahead and putting your information into the feed. Okay. So thank you so much for that. So it's important for us as business owners to understand that we need to have both a paid social media strategy and a organic social media strategy, and it isn't one of the other. Okay, so it's 2019. Like I said, the word for the year is for us to be intentional. Okay, so each strategy, and those are strategies, right? So each of those strategies have a specific role to play in your marketing. And once you put them in place, it allows you to maximize your ROI, or get a better return on your investment. Okay, so here's what I'm going to share with you. So when or why would you put content out there that's organic? So let's talk about organic content for just a little bit. And if you're out there and we're going through the broadcast at any time, if you have any questions, please make sure that you put your questions or your comments into the comment section, and in that way I'll be able to address them, okay? And like I said, if you're just jumping on, you're just joining the broadcast, feel free to go ahead and share the broadcast out with your network as well, okay? So organic content. So what's best for organic content? So when we take a look at organic content, and like I said, this is a type of content that you're putting out there, you're putting it naturally. You're not necessarily, putting any type of ad spend or any money to kind of boost the reach or boost the engagement on that content. So organic content is best used for maintaining an online presence, okay? So these are the things. When you're out there on social media, we talk about that all the time. What is your messaging? What is your brand's story? So do you showcase your brand's story every opportunity that you get? Do people understand like why you do what you do, when you market your business, when you market on social media, when you market on any other platform? Do they really understand your why? Okay. Also, when we take a look at organic content, we take a look at organic content as a way for you to also build up your community. Okay, so what are some of the things that you can put out there that would enhance your followers, that would help, build your community? We talk about that all the time. I have a wonderful community. I like to call, my social media Saturdays, my members, superstars. Okay, why? Because you guys are awesome. You show up, every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. So it's my responsibility to make sure that I put great content out there for you guys, right? And that's a way for us to build the community. Also, it's a way for you to establish social proof. And what do I mean by social proof? Like, if you have a business out there and you're not talking about your business, and people aren't talking about your business, and they really can't speak as to what you do, how you've helped them, then you really have no social proof. Okay, so that's one of the biggest things that I love about social media, because social media not only gives you the opportunity to share what you do, which is marketing, but it also gives other people the opportunity to share and tell how you have helped them, with your business. And then also, organic content also helps you build up your brand, because that's what we're talking about, right? So you want to take a look at your organic marketing or your organic content as a way to, build or long-term branding. Okay. Now, let's talk a little bit about paid content and what the reasons why, I should say, you should use paid content. And like I said, I get this question all the time. People ask me, I see the boost button on Facebook. Facebook will now prompt you, to put, some ad spend. It will tell you, like, hey, if you spend $20, the reach of this particular piece of content, whether it's a video, whether it's a post, will expand, or they'll open it up to more people for, maybe $10 or $20. So I get that question all the time too. Should I be spending that money? Okay. Should I take Facebook up on the boost option? So now I'm going to say this. The answer to the question is yes. Okay. I always say this all the time. You should have, inside of your marketing budget, money for paid advertising, whether you're running full blown ads or whether you're, spending a little bit of the ad spend to boost certain types of content. Okay, we're going to talk a little bit about that today. So not everything you need to put ad spend behind of, but we're going to be strategic about the type of content that we're going to put, money behind of. Okay, so your paid ads on social will allow you to reach, number one, your existing audience. And this was a big thing in 2018. We've heard the conversation about how organic reach on social media is dwindling. Okay, especially on Facebook. If you are posting from your Facebook business page, I know there's a lot of business owners out there, who's just like, if I post stuff on my Facebook page, hardly anyone ever sees it. And so I'm more comfortable sharing content on my personal page. Okay. So what I usually like to say is you should have a strategy where you're investing, okay, money to boost content from your Facebook business page. And the reason why you want to do that is because on your business page, that's where you brand your business. Okay. So that's where you have the opportunity to track all your metrics. That's where you have the opportunity to find out who your ideal audience is. Okay. You don't necessarily get the opportunity to see all of that cool stuff, all of that insights, all of that information off of your personal page. Okay. So paid ads gives you the opportunity to reach your existing audience. That's the first thing. And then the second thing, it also gives you the opportunity to expand, okay, your audience. Okay. And that's what it's all about. We all are looking for more of the ideal people that we could serve in our business. Second, or third, I should say, paid ads allow you to optimize for conversions. Okay. So here's the thing. And I talked about this last week. One of the key metrics that you should be measuring in your business after you put your content out there, how well is your content converting? Okay. So are you out there sharing content and you're giving people the opportunity to receive some type of free gift from you, your lead magnet, your freemium. I like to call it the perfect opt-in gift. Okay. And then once they come into your list or they come through your process, okay, what's your conversion rate looks like? Are you able to track your conversion rate from social media? So how many clients, okay, are you able to get through social media, and what does that process looks like? And the reason why we're talking about developing the plan and we're talking about tracking is because sometimes, and I get this all the time, people think that, you know, when they do things on social media, those actions are supposed to yield immediate results. And here's the thing, sometimes they don't. Sometimes it takes, you know, a little bit for you to nurture and bring your prospects or your leads, you know, through a particular process in order to convert them into paying clients. And for each of us out there who have, you know, businesses and who have that process in place, it might be quicker for some, it might take others a little bit longer, but do you actually know what your cycle is? Do you have a strategic way that you are doing that in your business? Are you able to track that? Okay. And so paid social media or paid ads, you know, give you the ability, okay, to get your lead magnets, get your information, whether it's a webinar, whether you have items for sale, in front of more of the right people and optimize for conversions. Okay. And then also paid ads also gives you a quicker way, you know, for you to get results. All right. So if this is making sense to any of you guys out there, just go ahead and drop me a line into the comment section and let me know, Taria, this is making sense. Taria, I follow, you know, I get it, I understand. Or if you still have some questions, okay, and maybe there's something that's been sitting on the top of your mind that you wanted to ask about having a paid strategy for social. As a matter of fact, I did put a poll out there, you know, to ask to go along with the video. I don't know how many of you guys saw the poll, so I'm going to ask the question. How many of you have a paid strategy for your social media? How many of you are incorporating paid ads into your social media? Okay, so if you are using paid ads, just go ahead and type a yes into the comment section and let me know that, hey, Taria, I'm paying, you know, I'm spending money on ads. And if you're not spending money on ads, just go ahead and let me know, okay? And then share with me what would be your biggest question or your biggest holdup as to why you don't have a paid strategy, okay? So Peg says, I follow what you're saying. How do you determine your ad spend? Okay, so that's a very great question, Peg. So this is one of the reasons why I absolutely love Facebook as a platform for paid advertising. Facebook allows you, you know, as a beginner, to choose your own ad budget. So I get that all the time. So people say to me, well, Taria, I don't have thousands of dollars, you know, to put into ads. I don't have hundreds of dollars to put into ads. The good news is Facebook will allow you to set your budget. So I want everyone who's listening to the broadcast to determine, okay, where are you going to start? So are you going to start, you know, with $40 a month? If you start with $40 a month, that's $10 a week. Are you going to start with $100 a month, $200 a month? Start where you are and be strategic about the content that you are putting money behind of. Now, let me just say this. Of course, you know, as you get a bigger budget for your ad spend, okay, the better, you know, the more you'll be able to increase your audience, get your content in front of more of the right people, which will thus enhance your conversions. And then there are different things or different strategies, you know, depending on what you're doing, Peg, in your business, that, you know, where you should place your money for ad spend. So if you had to ask me, if you're a beginner, I would say start out with a budget of $100, and then I'm going to share with you a little bit about what I do, how I use my ad spend in my business. So I hope, Peg, that answers your question. Okay, so I add that for 2019. I used it last year, but it was not done right. Okay, so Gloria, what was your biggest takeaway or your biggest question that you had in regards to your paid advertising strategy? Just go ahead and type it into the comment section below. Okay. Now, before I really get into how to maximize your content, I want to make sure that you guys have the ability to get the 2019 social media planner. So I offered the planner last week. So if you guys were on the broadcast last week, you should have received your planner. But if you're joining this week or even if you joined last week and you didn't get the planner, you could simply type the word plan into the comment section below. Okay, type the word plan into the comment section below, and then your planner will be delivered to you via Messenger, Facebook Messenger inbox. So make sure to check your Messenger inbox, okay? Now, the whole purpose behind of the planner is to really give you some great steps, some tools. It's a tool. So I want you not to just get the planner and look at the planner in Facebook, right? I actually want you to download it and print it. Download it, print it. Walk through the exercises in the planner, okay? The planner is like 26 pages long, guys. I took my time and I put it together, okay? So go through the exercises for the planner, print it, okay? And then lay out, put it in a binder, put it in your other planners that you're using. Okay, and then map out your strategy or your social media plan for 2019. So this planner is designed to share with you or give you the opportunity to know exactly what you'll be doing every month, every day on social media. Okay, because one of the things that I get all the time is that social media seems like a big distractions. People tell me that all the time. I'm on social media and I'm wasting a lot of time and I'm not able to see the results. But if you are intentional, okay, with what you're posting and what you're sharing on social media, and it correlates directly with the goals that you are trying to accomplish in your business, then your social media strategy, or your time on social media won't feel like it's such a big distraction. I was just in that conversation last week, and I'm so amazed that how many people, look at social media as a distraction. It can be, if you really, don't have your goals, if you don't have a set strategy and you're just getting on social media, and you're posting willy-nilly, you're looking at stuff willy-nilly, and then time is going by. Okay, so Peg says the planner is awesome. Yay! Thank you, Peg. Thank you so much for that. Thank you for grabbing it. And I see that Gloria has just typed in or text the word plan to get her plan. So Gloria, you're gonna get that, and let me know as you guys are going through it. Always come back into our Social Media Saturdays community and let me know how the planner is helping you. Okay, so Christina says I need to relearn everything. Didn't do any paid ads here. In Florida, I got more customers. I'm trying to see if I could see the entire comment. One second, Christine. Let me see if I could see your entire comment. I'm looking at comments in two places. Okay. It says, in Florida, I got more and more customers because of working together with rescues and doing fundraiser shoots. Here, I have to start from zero and spending money for ads. And I also have to convince girls here to do pinup shoots, okay, and showing what it is. And it's not very well known. Okay, and like I said, Christine, I was like so super, I'm so super excited for you, okay, because this gives you the opportunity to like conquer a whole new market, right? And here's a really cool thing of what I love about what you're stating, okay, is that you're in a new place, new location, and people really don't know what it is that you do. So here's your opportunity, to bring that type of awareness to the marketplace, okay? So through your social media, you have the ability, we talked about it, to share your brand story. So number one, what is it that you do? Okay, what brought you into that space in the very first place? And then what benefit, is that to your audience? Okay, so sometimes it's not just about, selling a product, but it's just, the story and how what we have could change the lives of others or help them receive that transformation. So take a look at that, and then storyboard it out, put it in your planner, okay, and then walk through it, and that would help you with the content. Now, here's the really cool thing that we're talking about with paid social media. Now, by strategically placing ads or ad spend on particular types of content, what you're able to do is expand your audience. Okay. And let me say this again. This is why I love Facebook, because Facebook has done all the work for us. Facebook, and I'm going to say this, it's a data mining company, right? That's what it truly is. But Facebook does a wonderful job of collecting all of this information on its users. And then all we have to do is just tap into that information. And we tap into that information by spending money on ads, okay? And like I said, it doesn't have to be a crazy big budget, Christine, but one of the things that you could do, like when you spend money on your ads, Facebook allows you to target, specific individuals. So this is where it becomes really key to know who your ideal clients are, not just their age or their gender or the demographic in location, right? But shared, interests, who do they follow? What are some of the things that they like? What are their interests? You have the ability to use ads, okay, to find more of those people. So I hope that helps, Christine. Okay, so now I'm just going to continue on, and I see that Joanne has just jumped on. Joanne, thank you so much. Joanne is here in St. Thomas with me. She's classmate of mine as well, so I've had the opportunity to see her last week, so it's really cool. So thank you, Joanne, for jumping on and joining. Sharette says, I understand that we need a budget to run ads. However, how can we determine how long or how often? Let me get the rest of the question. How long or how often? Ooh, did I miss your question, Shabbat? Oh, okay. How long or how often should you run ads? Okay, so that's a great question, Sharette. And I would say it just depends, on the campaign that you are running. Okay, so once again, you might have one of the questions that people talk about all the time is boosted ads. So I'm just going to share with you a strategy that I use for boosted ads, right? So I do videos. That's the main type of content that I produce on Facebook now, okay, is video content. Why? Because Facebook absolutely loves video content. So what I do after every show, I go ahead and I spend $10 to $20, not a lot, okay, to expand the reach of my video. All right. Now, when I expand the reach of my video, I let that $10 to $20 ad spend probably run for a day or two, no longer than 2 days. And what that is going to do is just open up that content, to a specific targeted audience. So I could say that I'm building an audience, in Maryland, or I'm building an audience in St. Thomas. Okay. I could specifically target people, business owners, take a look at the demographics, their interests, and everything. I might be running a longer campaign. I might be running a campaign for an event, okay? And I'm doing a live event, okay? Now, I could sit down and say, hey, and it gets a little bit more in detail, okay? So I won't go into too much of the details, but you can say, hey, I'm doing an event and I'm going to allow 90 days for a paid ad strategy, okay? So the longer your ads are running for your live event, the better chances you have of increasing awareness about the event and then converting, getting people to purchase tickets, for the event, okay? And then you have to know how much of your marketing budget for that particular event have you set aside, for paid ads. So are you going to do 10% of your marketing budget? Are you going to do 20%, 50%? Okay. And like I said, it factors into taking a look at the cost of your event tickets and all of that stuff. Okay. So, I mean, I could go on with this like forever, but I'm trying to just keep it. But that's a very good question, Sharat. So it just depends, number one, on what type of campaign that you are running in your business, whether it's for, just increasing the awareness of a particular piece of content. Maybe it's a blog post that you're putting out there with some really cool information, and you have a lead magnet inside of that blog post. That's a piece of content that I would boost, right? 10, $20, open it up very quickly to your audience, okay? And then have the opportunity to build your list. You're doing something a little bit more substantial or deeper, like a webinar or a live event, okay? Then you want to allow for a little bit more of your budget, okay? And then a longer time as well. Okay, so I hope that makes sense, okay? All right, so here are some of the ways that I'm going to share with you how to maximize your organic content. Okay, so once again, organic content is the content that we share out there that we're not going to put any ad spend. We're not putting any money behind of that type of content. So number one, you want to make sure that you're using it to maximize your brand personality. So what is your brand story? What is your why? Okay, what is it that's making people connect with your product or your service? Okay, and make sure that you share that. So one of the things that I absolutely love to share, is my story of half and half. I spend half of my time in Maryland and the other half of my time here in St. Thomas, Virgin Islands. Okay, and it was so amazing to me. I didn't think that would be something that people would connect to. Okay, and then as soon as I started to share it, people started saying, wow, that's amazing. Okay, I would love to do that. Okay, and then I started to meet more people who are doing that. Okay, and then now they're sharing strategies with me on how to make it work. Okay, the second thing that you can do to maximize your organic content is to address negative comments. Okay, and I had to put this one in here because people ask me about this all the time. So if you're out there, you're posting and you're sharing on social media, from time to time, you might have, someone who might have a negative comment or, put a negative engagement, right? So now we see in your emojis on Facebook. Facebook now gives people the opportunity to put an angry face, put a sad face on there, okay? Now, believe it or not, all of these things are being tracked as well, right? So if you have someone out there that has placed a negative comment on your content, make sure to address it, okay? So you definitely don't want to have negative comments, out there just kind of sitting, and it looks like you're ignoring your content. So you make sure that you want to address it. And if it's something that you need to make right, you just go ahead and make it right, okay? The third thing that you could do to maximize your organic content is the use of hashtags, okay? And use hashtags to boost your visibility across social networks, right? And so one of the things that people do is that they search for content through hashtags, okay? So we know that, Twitter uses a lot of hashtags. Instagram, definitely people are searching for content on Instagram using hashtags, but also you could use hashtags as well, on platforms such as Facebook, such as LinkedIn, and this gives people the opportunity, once again, to easily find your content. So once you add your hashtags to your content and people search for those hashtags, then the more likely your content is going to be found. Okay, and I see that Diane Harris has jumped on. Good morning, Diane. Thank you so much for jumping on and joining us this morning. And then the fourth thing that you want to do to make sure that you are maximizing your organic content is to make sure that you are aligning your content to the specific platform. Now, guys, I'm going to say this is absolutely huge, okay? I started off the beginning of the video talking about last year in 2019 and some of the major changes that occurred on Facebook. And one of the things that we saw was a huge decline, in organic reach on Facebook business pages. right? And so it allowed us, or forced us to become a little bit more strategic about the type of content that we're putting out on there. So number one, to create engaging content that our audience wants, okay, and make sure that they're tuning into. So that's the first thing. But taking a look at what type of content that you're putting out on each platform. So one of the things that I noticed is that Facebook absolutely loves videos, okay, and the Facebook Lives. That's the type of content, like I'm doing a live now. That's the type of content that's getting, the ultimate type of reach on Facebook. Okay, so aligning or doing more Facebook Lives, is boosting or helping me to boost engagement and increase my organic content or my organic reach on social media. All right, Instagram. And as we know, Instagram loves beautiful pictures. And if you could use your pictures to tell a story about your brand, um, perfect. Okay, so just make sure that you are aligning your content with the particular platform that you are on. Okay, now we're gonna share how to maximize your paid content. All right, and we talked a little bit about some strategies to use for paid content. I shared how I use mine. Okay, I'm very strategic in the ad spend that I put behind of my content. So you want to use paid ads to distribute your best content. So let me just say that again. You want to use paid ads to distribute your best content. So once again, if you are out there and you are creating content that gives you the ability to let people know about a promotion that you have going on, then you definitely want to put ad spend behind of that. If you're promoting some type of webinar, live event, or even if you're promoting, an article that gives you the ability to address, some of the needs of your audience, and you have like a lead magnet inside of there, why not spend, some money on there to expand the reach of that content? Also, number two, when it comes to your paid content strategy, make sure that you are looking at your targeting options. So here's the thing that I've found. A lot of times Facebook will say, and I'm just picking on Facebook because that's the question that I get the most of, okay? So Facebook will say, hey, I see that you have this content on your Facebook business page. If you spend $20, if you spend $20, we'll expand the reach, right? And then a lot of times what I see some people doing is that they just go ahead and they spend the $20, right? And then what Facebook is going to do is that they're going to open up the reach, right? So you're going to see that, thousands of people or hundreds of people have seen this particular piece of content. But are those people ideally your target audience? Okay. So I'm just going to say, before you do that, make sure you really do some work to know who your buyer persona is. Okay. So do you have a snapshot of who your ideal client is? Okay. And then you could simply input that information into that option before you go ahead and you spend that money on that boosted post. If you're accustomed of using ads already, you should have audiences that are built out inside of your ads manager. Okay, so that's another great way. When you boost a post, make sure that that content is going to, a specific audience, or who you want that content to go to. Because if not, then what's going to happen? Facebook is just going to show that content, to the numbers of people, and then you're not going to get the results that you're looking for. Okay. So here are some of the ways you could base your paid advertising on interest, and then you could also do retargeting. Okay, so we're going to do a whole nother session on retargeting as well. Okay, but retargeting gives you the ability to showcase your content to people that are interested in seeing your content. Okay, so that's one of the things that I absolutely love about using Facebook's ads platform. I could retarget people from my email list. I could retarget people who visit my website. I I could retarget people, who are engaging, with my Facebook Live videos. I'm just going to say that. Okay. So these are people who I know have taken action, on my content before, so I could show them more things and thus get a better result. Okay. Also, you could use lookalike audiences, and that's another huge one, okay, as well. So you could say, hey, Facebook, these are the people that I found that, that are in my custom audiences, and they're reacting or they're taking some type of action with me before. Now, what I want you to do is to go ahead and find more people like them. Okay, and Facebook will go ahead and actually find more people that fit that demographic. Okay, so like I said, we're not going to get too deep into your custom audiences, your lookalike audiences, and retargeting. That's a whole nother episode altogether, but it speaks to your paid content strategy. Okay. So Peg says, glad you'll do a whole session on retargeting. Parade. Yes, because retargeting, Peg, that's like the secret sauce behind paid content, okay, or ads. So a lot of times, people are running ads, and what they're doing is just running ads to new audiences, cold people, cold traffic, over and over and over again. Okay. And then they're wondering, oh my gosh, I spent so much money and I don't understand why I'm not getting the results that I'm getting. Okay. But once what type of content that you're going to position to a cold audience, and then what type of content you're going to position to your warm audience, people who have engaged with you before, and you need them to take the next step. Okay, there are ways that you could do that. Okay, and then also content that you position to your hot audience, you could do that as well. And then after you have your audiences in your bucket, you can say, now Facebook, what I need you to do is go ahead and help me find more people like that. Okay. So great. So Peg says, yes, love lookalike audiences too. I know. Isn't it great though? And that's what I tell people. People, fuss all the time about, coming off of Facebook. And I don't want to use Facebook anymore, but I'm just going to say this. And this is not just a plug for Facebook, but, it works for me. So they've done such a wonderful job of collecting the information. And then all we need to do as business owners is just tap into it. Okay. So I think I want to tell you, I was listening to, I think it was Gary V. Okay, Gary Vaynerchuk, that says there's no such thing, as a traffic problem. As business owners, we don't have a traffic problem. Okay, we don't have a problem getting, or we shouldn't have a problem getting our content in front of the right people, because all we have to do, is just spend the money for it. That's it. Okay, so going forward, there's no such thing as a traffic problem. Okay, so guys, what are some of the big takeaways? Okay, so I've shared with you the difference between organic content and paid content, and I've shared with you ways to maximize both. Okay, so I hope that this have helped you guys move the needle, in developing your strategy for 2019. Okay, and so any questions? Because I'm getting ready to wrap up the show. If you have any more questions, now is your time, to ask the questions while I do a brief recap. And so for those of you out there, once again, if you haven't had the opportunity to grab the plan, make sure that you grab the plan. And then also, I almost forget, but I don't want to forget because this is super important, right? On the 26th, January 26th, we are going to I'm dedicating a couple of hours to do a master class on developing your 2019 social media plan. So I have decided that the master class is going to be $67 for the master class, and I'm opening up space, for 10 to 15 people, no more than 20 people on the master class. Okay, so we're going to dedicate a couple of hours on January 26th, which is a Saturday, to go through the develop your 2019 social media plan. So if you are out there and you're listening and you would like to be a part of the masterclass, please type the word masterclass into the comment section below, and then I will make sure that I get you the details of the masterclass. Okay. So once again, the masterclass is going to be held, is going to be virtual. January 26th, we're going to spend a couple of hours like mapping out your 2019 social media plan. So this is going to be awesome because what I'm doing is not just fluffy social media content. We're taking a look at some of the things that you are doing in your business, some of the goals that you want to accomplish or you're going to accomplish. I'm going to speak it into existence. Some of the goals that you're accomplishing in 2019, and how does social media play a part in that? How you can use social media to boost and help you, achieve those goals, get you in front of more of the right people to help you hit your goals in 2019. So if you would love to be a part of the masterclass, just go ahead, type the word masterclass into the comment section below. I had a few people last week, I think about 4 people last week, let me know that they're interested in the masterclass. So the investment for the masterclass is $67. So if you would like to be a part of it, just type the word masterclass into the comment section below, and I'll make sure to get you the details. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and let's do a brief recap, and I'm going to share with you the 4 ways. Number 1, to maximize your organic content. That's number 1, to show your brand's personality. So every time you have the opportunity, talk about share your brand. If you have negative comments out there on your content, make sure that you address them sooner rather than later. Just don't let them sit there. Number 3, make sure that you are using hashtags, okay, to increase your visibility. And number 4, under maximizing your organic content, you want to make sure that you are aligning the correct content to the correct platform. Okay. How to maximize your paid content. You want to make sure that that high level content that you are producing, you are distributing that content with paid ads. And you also want to make sure that you are leveraging your targeting options. Okay. So you want to target your audience based on interests. You also want to use retargeting. And then you also want to use custom audiences. And then you also want to utilize, the hottest type, which is lookalike audiences as well. Okay. And I see that Peg has typed in masterclass. So Peg, I will make sure definitely that you get the information on how to join the masterclass on the 26th. Okay. So the biggest takeaway for today is that paid social media, would allow you to get the results that